SCP-2952 is called the Corgi. Now, Corgis are kind of like dachshunds. They're long, in my opinion. They're longer than they are wide or tall. You know what I mean? They're elongated, I should say. They're gorgeous little dogs. They're very, very friendly too. I've pet quite a few Corgis in my life. Never owned one, but they've always seemed really, really cool dogs. And I've had friends that had them and stuff like that too. But the thumbnail that from the Rubbers video that we reacted to today showed a very, very, very long Corgi, almost ridiculous. So, I assume that this one's gonna be a pretty good one, guys. Probably funny. Make sure to subscribe to the Rubber. Make sure to subscribe to me if you like reaction videos. Give me a like on the video as well, and let's get into this one.
My research had led me to a small island off the coast of northern Japan.
Okay.
It was speculated that there was some hidden temple in the area, full of artifacts, buried by time and waiting to be dug up.
Alright.
But on one cold winter day, while milling about the dig site, I saw something that didn't match the browns, greens, and grays of nature that surrounded the area. Instead, my eyes were transfixed on a large patch of golden brown.
Alright.
Curious and confused by this, I left my crew behind and wandered through some trees
You
before
don't
I found myself standing in front of it. I slowly crouched down and ran my hands through it, and was stunned to feel that it felt like fur.
Okay.
Deeply puzzled, I took out my pocket knife and took a small sample to analyze without telling any of my peers.
What the?
After a few hours of testing, the results indicated that what I had found was indeed fur. Fur that belonged to a Corgi, as a matter of fact. Baffled by this, I quickly gathered up the other archaeologists and researchers and showed them my discovery.
Right.
We all were stumped as to how it was possible for the fur to be so well preserved, but excited nonetheless. We quickly posted our findings online.
Y'all didn't go
and
back
turned
out
our
to the
attention
site?
back to digging up the area. Pretty soon, we discovered that this mass of fur kept going and going no matter how far we excavated the area.
Oh my
Around
god.
a week later, we were met by Japanese officials and some odd man who went by Agent S.
Okay.
He instructed us that we were to close up immediately and that our dig was to be taken over by the Japanese government. Oh well,
Is this the
I hope
Foundation?
whoever they are, they have the means to take good care of this furry creature.
Right.
I have a feeling that it means us no harm.
At first I thought
Could
this
be
was
an
a
actual
researcher from the
Corgi.
Foundation,
I wonder.
but it's not.
Hello everybody, I'm the Rubber.
What up,
Today,
Rubber?
we bring you SCP Foundation Safe Class Object SCP-2952.
So it's a safe class.
SCP-2952, also known as CORGI,
It's a little
is
corgi.
classified as
Or
safe
big
and
corgi.
is most likely one of the most bizarre and adorable anomalous entities that the Foundation has come across.
It seems
Many Foundation researchers are proud to report that 2952 is an anomalous Pembroke Welsh Corgi.
okay.
What makes this Corgi unique is the fact that
It's
it is
pretty
just
long.
shy of over 30,000 kilometers in
30,000
length.
kilometers?
Its little head and front paws are located
God!
near 3 Portlands, while its hindquarters are in rural Japan. The rest of its body weaves across the Americas, Europe, and Asia. Furthermore, 2952 is thought to have the ability to infinitely regenerate through unknown means.
Alright.
Should any part of its body be damaged, it will repair itself very quickly.
Gotcha.
Samples of tissue taken have proven to be capable of rebuilding themselves regardless of what damage it sustains.
So if you cut
As
it
to
in
how
half,
this is possible, no one knows. Oddly enough, 2952 does not require
maybe that Purina
sustenance of
dog
any
chows
kind
on.
and refuses to move more than a few feet away from its original position.
Okay.
Something that has been speculated is that 2952 is able to change the shape of its body, making it thinner or larger in places.
Ah.
This is thought to help keep its body out of sight by the general public and dangerous animals,
okay.
or as a way to blend in with the environment.
That makes sense
This
too.
has only been seen once in an incident involving archaeologists in rural Japan, who have since had their memories of 2952 removed.
Yeah.
Other
The
than
Men
the
in Black.
incredible length of 2952, its body seems to operate as a unique and anomalous transportation system. Travel is done through tiny openings a few centimeters wide and tall on its body that open on a schedule.
What
These
travels through
entrances
it?
have been designated as SCP-2952-1. Humanoid beings around 3 centimeters in height can be seen entering and exiting such openings.
What?
Such entities are not visible to the naked eye, unless captured on film or through photographs. None are outwardly hostile
They're
unless
fairies?
provoked and have been designated as SCP-2952-2. Many of
Okay.
them share physical characteristics of fairies and forest nymphs,
Right.
but on a much smaller scale.
Even
An
smaller
experiment
than
was
fairies?
undertaken by
Wow.
Project Director Stevens, who
centimeters is
ordered
pretty
several
small.
Foundation personnel to block and bury portions of 2952. This was done in order to prevent the general public from stumbling across its body.
All right.
A few days after this was complete, Director Stevens went missing.
Oh,
In his place was a mole that was dressed up to look like Director Stevens.
what?
Dr. Mills, who was working alongside the crew and was tasked with collecting tissue samples, woke up one morning with poisonous berries in his mouth and sharpened
Wow.
stakes driven through his feet
So the
and
fairies are
hands.
doing that to him, I
Believing
guess.
these two events to be directly related to 2952, the Foundation researched all myths related to fairies and similar entities.
Yeah.
After collecting a plethora of information, they found all the possible ways to appease such creatures and performed all the rituals necessary.
Okay.
As soon as a number of rituals were completed, Director Stevens switched places with the mole.
Ah.
He has stated he has no recollection of what happened while he was gone. As for
So
Dr.
it
Mills, he
was.
was no longer harassed by
The
instances of
fairies were doing
2952-2.
mischievous stuff to get back
However,
at him
the
for messing
wounds he
with the
sustained
corgi.
have not healed. Modern medicine nor anomalous means have proven successful in closing his wounds.
Wow.
The instances of 2952-2 sent a letter to Foundation personnel stating they were
Okay.
content with the appeasement but to never block the gates again. The Foundation has since dedicated a task force
Makes
to
sense.
ensure that no gates are ever blocked by any means.
Right.
As a reward, members of the Foundation have been granted the privilege of being capable of seeing instances of 2952-2 with the naked eye.
Interesting.
Agent Davies was sent to explore the transportation system located within 2952. She touched 2952's warm, furry body and shrunk down to a size no more than an inch. Then she was
Wow.
granted entrance. Inside were around a dozen or so instances of 2952-2, sitting
Right.
down on wooden benches
Just
covered
hanging
in
out.
petals. Now departing from 3 Portlands. Next stop, West Coast
It's a
Rainforest.
train.
Agent Davies looked around the interior. It looked
It's
just
a
like
fairy
the usual
bullet
elk
train
trees,
in a
but more in
corgi's
tune
body.
with nature. Everything was made of wood, leaves, grass, moss, mushrooms, and the like. The
Uh-huh.
walls, ceiling, and floor appeared to be constructed of birch bark wrapped around thin twigs. The walls were lined with seats, which are cushioned with a variety of flower petals. A welcoming
Interesting.
sight, considering her expectation of the dog's interior to be
Yeah.
more fleshy.
Yeah.
Also a good escape from the Foundation's dour and hard floors. As she sat down,
What the
Agent Davies
heck,
heard a voice
man?
from her earpiece. Agent, you are free to engage in conversation if needed.
Thanks.
Well, all right then. Tech seems to be unaffected by the changes in environment. Good to know. Time to get in touch with nature. Agent Davies noticed that the 2952-2 entities resembled humans,
Yeah.
but were of earthly skin tones.
All right.
Some had wings, others had vegetation growing out of their bodies. Most of them were rather
Turnip coming
jovial
out their
and
cheek or
acted just
something.
like humans. Agent Davies casually sat beside one of them. Hey, how's it going? Beautiful day, huh? Well, I just hope this thing isn't late again. I tried to make it to the glades in time to harvest some seeds the other day. Everything was gone by the time
They
I
just
arrived.
commuting
But,
like
that's
regular
how it
old-
is sometimes. Do you know
like
why
regular
it's
New
been late?
Yorkers.
Some kind of internal blockage. Poor thing's got injuries somewhere down in the tail section, I hear.
Oh.
Aw, poor thing.
But it regenerates,
Another passenger
right?
from the front turned towards them and joined their conversation. Somebody tried to hijack this train, you see. Wait, a hijacker? So was it like a human, or he was one of us? I think. I don't know. He was dressed in all black and had a mask on. Pretty
plot
bold, too.
thickens.
Hijacking the train with just himself. Can you tell me what happened?
So it's like a
Well,
fairy
it was
faction?
just a usual Tuesday. I was taking the train as usual from my place to where I harvest my mushrooms. I was sitting in the tail section. That's where I usually sit. It was pretty mundane, but damn, do I regret what I was thinking that day. Man, I hope something exciting would happen to me. This is so boring. What the hell was that? Suddenly, something loud came from behind where I was sitting. A man dressed in all black pulled out his revolver and fired a single shot in the air. I mean, upwards. It hit the roof and the train
Right.
shook a little. All
It
right,
hurt the corgi.
nobody moves. If it ain't clear enough, this is a hijacking situation. I have a gun and a
What
bomb
the
hidden
heck?
somewhere in this car. If I press this button right here, train goes boom. So no sudden movement. Don't try to be a hero. The passenger
What are you trying
under
to
his boot
steal?
asked him in a shaky voice. "Oh, what do you want, man?"
Right.
What do I want?
Seats?
It's very simple. I want you to shut the hell up and
What?
stay down. The hijacker seemed to know the train pretty well, including the conductor too.
A regular
He then
commuter,
spoke
maybe?
into one of the surveillance cameras that was hidden
got
really well, or
surveillance?
at least that's what I think he was doing.
Who's
If you
controlling
don't
this
want
train?
the train or your good boy to blow up right now, be here immediately. That entire car
the
waited
Corgi's
for an uncomfortable 10
master?
minutes or so, but no one replied from the intercom or showed up.
Huh.
Everyone was on edge. The hijacker was getting impatient
They don't
too.
negotiate with
Why don't you
hostages?
tell us what you want and we work it out? I don't know what came over me that made me start negotiating with him. Not gonna lie, my heart dropped and I was about to wet my
guess
pants
so.
when he suddenly glared and pointed his gun at me. Ooh, someone's trying to play hero, huh? Alright, I'll entertain you. What I want is very simple. I want this train to stop its operation. No more joyrides across the world.
The heck?
That's it? Yep, plain and simple. I hate dog trains. Suddenly, he was overcome with rage and fired more shots into the roof.
Oh, poor
Poor thing must have
Corgi.
felt them. Each time he fired, the train shook more violently. I couldn't take it anymore, and I was not the only one who thought the same during that moment. You are a despicable, hateful, and joyless being. I tried to reason with you, but that was simply unreasonable. How can you not like Corgi? Yeah, how can you say such things about something this cute?
Cute.
At that point, everyone seemed like they were ready to jump on him, even when the hijacker was waving his gun around. Hey, stop moving, you all. You don't want to get shot now, do you? I still have the bomb. Ugh. The train suddenly swerved hard. It made everyone
Nice.
lose balance for a second.
Jump
Corgi
and get
must
the
have
gun.
known what was going on and tried to help us. Most of us seized the opportunity to rush towards the hijacker to bring him down. I got a hold of his gun arm and he fired more shots recklessly, but eventually I got control of the gun and pointed it back at him. Stop, I still have my detonator. If I press this button, somehow he still had his detonator in his hand. Oh yeah? But can you react faster than this gun here? Right now, I have
Just
it right
shoot
up
it.
against your head, and you gotta ask yourself one question. Did you fire 6 shots or only 5? I'm sure in all this commotion, you've lost track of it yourself. But being at the other end of the barrel, one squeeze from my finger can blow your head clean off. So ask yourself another question. Do I feel lucky?
Well, do you?
Punk? He was shaking then and slowly let go of his
Cheesy.
detonator, and the day was saved.
Cheesy.
Did you really say that? I swear I heard that speech somewhere.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a Clint
I guess you'll
Eastwood
have to
film.
take my word for it then. And
Oh
I'm
my
afraid I'll have to
God,
leave you now.
dude.
This is my station. As the passenger got up, Agent Davies stopped him.
All in a
Before
Corgi,
you leave,
y'all.
tell me, was it 5 shots or 6? I got to know. The passenger only chuckled and left the train. At the end of her trip, she ended up in the West Coast rainforest where Foundation personnel were waiting to pick her up. So, how was your little trip? A good bit of fun. Wouldn't mind commuting to work like that every day, actually.
Wow.
Hey, you have the number of the vet you took your dog to the other day? All right, think we're all done here now. He gathered his tools and stepped out of 2952.
Nice.
He then
The
patted its side.
veterinarian came
Good
and
boy. He could see its
fixed the
tail further
Corgi
down
up.
the dog train, wagging happily.
how strange, y'all. All in all, a pretty funny story. But these fairies would just communicate, commuting just like normal people and communicating like normal people too. Like living just their mundane lives, going do their work and taking the train back and forth. It's just weird that it's a Corgi train. So weird, man. I guess if you had this magic at your disposal, I guess anything's possible. This was pretty cool though, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the Rubber. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos, and hit the like button if you enjoyed this one. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.